Now the distance to the South Pole from the home I grew up in until I was 942 days old, which is the birth total for the word Jesus, is 3875 miles. There it is there. So we'll just go into the there it is there. Now in the concordance, the number 3875 is the Comforter. The word Comforter is found 7 times. And these are 3 in the Old Testament, Ecclesiastes 4:1, Lamentations 1:9, Lamentations 1:16, John 14:16, John 14:26, John 15:26, and John 16:7. If you add those together, you get the area of the Shroud of Turin. Now, I'll go over to a CAD program on the other computer. What we have here is the actual dimensions on the CAD program of the Great Pyramid. And we'll zoom in on that at the top here, give you the measurements. Now the pyramid is 9131.06 wide. I've done it in millimetres for the sake of the size of it, and the height of it is 5813 pyramid inches. The 9131.06 pyramid inches times 4 is a solar year times 100, 36524.24. That's the 100 years that was allowed by the Almighty, given to Satan to destroy the church. And one might say, well, why do I want the Catholic Church destroyed? Simple reason is it's evil. I get evil to do it. Like Babylon was used to destroy Jerusalem and the Temple of Solomon. Now up the top here, we'll go up and look at that again. We've got the tools right there. We click on that and it will compute the center of gravity. So we'll do that. And tools, center of gravity. We see that it appears there. So I'll do it again. Edit, undo, compute the center of gravity. There it is. So now we can measure from the center of gravity to the top of the pyramid. And that distance is 3875.333. The date of the crucifixion was the 3rd of April 33 AD. So we've had 3 months plus 3 days in the year 33. So there's your 333 number. Now, my dear, are you ready to carry on with what we're going to do?
Okay.
Looking lovely.
Mm.
All right.
All right. Joel is working on our next upload, green screen, and doing a wonderful job, but it's taking some time. Part of the upload is that as Joel was working on the PowerPoint, I began to think about the advertising of the numbers from the Paris attacks. 129 dead, 99 critically injured, and 352 more injured, not so critically, being flashed all over the news services. As you know, this is how they operate, they communicate with each other. It's all about the body counts. We know who's behind it. It's always Mossad, CIA, MI6, etc. That is not news. So I began to dig deeper on the numbers that we were seeing, and 129 came up in the Greek concordance as bloody, as in murder, violent death, etc. And then now bear in mind these numbers, 129 they said dead, 99 critically injured, and then 352 injured but not so critically. Now the number 129 in the Greek concordance is found 99 times within 92 verses. The number 352 in the Greek concordance is to lift up or raise up either the body or the soul. 99, the number itself in the Greek concordance, is the Adriatic Sea, and it is found in reference to a verse from Acts 27:27. Now, I won't go into the trail of it all, but the bottom line is, it would seem that if there's going to be another planned attack by these fuckwit agencies, Israel and the USA behind it, then it could very well be from a vessel, a passenger vessel, sailing the Adriatic Sea, that is the sea between Italy and Greece. If you read Acts 27:27, it talks about 14 nights. And it talks about the midnight hour and the sounding in the next 2 verses of the sounding to find the depth of the ocean, and they talk about 20 fathoms and then 15 fathoms. All right, going strictly to the numbers, this is a possibility, just putting it out there. If not, great, but it's still it's beyond coincidence, because these are the numbers being flashed all over the place. First of all, 99 is the Adriatic Sea. Talks about the midnight hour. Everything concerning Yah's age is revolving a 12 on that date. It's also about a warning. The 352 leads directly to Jesus and myself as Martha. I was the woman as Martha, dragged before Jesus. They wanted to stone me, caught in adultery, etc. It was all about conceiving children, but the point is, it seems to be directly aimed at Yah and myself. That's where the 352 comes from, when he raises himself up and then addresses Martha, myself, mentioned twice. And then it goes over to Luke 21:28, which is the last time that 352 is mentioned in the New Testament, and that is where Jesus is speaking, saying, look up, your redemption is nigh, which is where the whole world is at right now. So it's in beyond, well, nothing with God is coincidence. Also, I found a vessel at the same time. I immediately went Google searching vessels within the Adriatic Sea, happened upon a site, much like Flight Aware is, where you can track aircraft, you can track vessels, and I signed up to it, and while I was in there having a good look around, I hit on the piracy button, and there was one reporting of piracy. You'll hear about this in the upload. One report of piracy, coincidentally not, it's a sign. It was off the coast of Alexandria, hello, and the vessel, container vessel, flying the flag of the Marshall Islands. There was a report of piracy on the 11th, this is the 11th day of the 11th month, 2015, 11/11, at 11:11 a.m. was this report, about two thieves, two pirates, climbing board the vessel. They escaped with nothing. However, they did slam one of the ship's crewmen, and he was injured. So, coincidence? Not. These are all signs. So this is a very quick upload, just revealing what he did. But when we get to the PowerPoint explaining it deeper.
Now the Paris attack, that occurred on the 13th.
That's right. So the 14th being the clue in Acts 27:27, 14 days from then, would lead to the 27th of November, which is only today's the 24th, so it's 3 days away. And Acts 27:27, hello, 27 and 2 and 7 reduces to 9, and November means 9. If these are cryptic clues that they're trying to aim at us, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's beyond
the perfect way to get away with it would be like they did with the Aceh in Indonesia. They did that with a large bomb dropped into the bottom of the sea between India and Australia and Indonesia, and that set off a tsunami. They did the same thing with a giant bomb dropped off the coast of Japan with Fukushima, is what caused that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again, especially the Americans now are really up against it because now they are the supporters of ISIS. Yeah. And
however, if they're going to have ISIS claim responsibility for it, it's more than likely something happened on a cruise ship. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be assassinations, that type of thing on a cruise ship. So that's very important. Now, why did they select the date of the 13th of November 2015? Well, that's easy. The French Revolution was caused by the Rothschilds, and they controlled Freemasonry. So they come up with some bogus excuse, and they end up beheading Louis XVI. They did it on the 20th of January in the year 1793. So you think, all right, what's that mean? Well, I'll take you over to the camera here, and we'll look at these numbers here. So we've got between Sunday the 20th of January 1793 and Friday the 13th November 2015, the elapsed time is 1162.5 and 5 days, which is, converting to years, is 2.8 years. So we have the 81380 days. Now, what I'm going to do is, I've said to you often that I married Lucifer, and remember those numbers, in 1966. Okay. On the 23rd of April. And the age I was when that occurred It's the same numbers. 81380 and 1162 and 4 days out of 7 is the same number, 11626, which is the antechamber's width. 116.26 pyramid inches is the width of the antechamber. And it's also the age difference between Michelle and I, who was Mary Magdalene in a past life that had the 7 devils driven out. That's the age difference in days between her and I. And her youngest daughter and my oldest daughter is 11.626 years apart. So we've got that. We've got the Comforter. When you add up all these numbers up the top here, where the Comforter is found, which is 4.1, you add these up, 4.1, 1.9, 1.16, 14.16, 14.26, 15.26 and 16.7. You add those all together and you end up with the area of the larger piece of the Shroud of Turin, which is where it all comes together with the first photograph in history of myself, the Holy Ghost, the Comforter, that is burned into the image of the Shroud of Turin, which was recognised by Pope Benedict. So that number there, if you add them all up, it's 6754, and that is the ghost, the image, which I'll do that for you now. It's in Hebrew, so it's 6754. So it's resemblance, illusion, representative figure, or phantom, which is ghost. Phantom. So it's the image of the Father that was in the blood when I was Jesus on the cross. And the whole idea of going to the cross was to release the blood, because in the blood is the soul, as you all know, or you should know, that your soul is in your blood. That's why people cut their wrists, bleed to death, and they're dead. So we'll go back over here to my sweetie.
No, that's it.
Have you finished now?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say? So the date to watch is the 27th coming up.
27th of November.
On that date, some numbers that come out of that is divorcing my espousal. That's some of the numbers that come out of it. It will be in the upload that we're doing. There's quite a long upload. It's over an hour.
Joel's already worked on it several days.
It shows also a young boy named Nathan who had...
and that's already up there. There's had more than 500 views on that one on our site.
Well, that's very important, because it's going to say what he said, what he saw is a young man that had no religious teaching. He knew nothing, but he went, and this is what the Jews select. They want someone without any religious teaching, so they can't be influenced, to go and cause a near-death experience, and by stopping the heart. And I think what happened with this boy, he got sick, and when he got into the hospital, they stopped his heart.
Yeah, I did read originally something that it was something that they brought on. The way I read it.
Well, remember, if the lips are moving, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Because anyway, bottom line is he had the experience, and he. Let's get this
those numbers are from this pyramid here, which is the Comforter number. How I determine that the pyramid is the altar to the Lord. In other words, it's there for a specific reason, and this number across here, stretch it out, and then you convert that into a base of a pyramid, and then you give the diagonals of it, etc., and that tells a story that I will be divorcing my espousal, which is mankind. So it's not a happy. So we'll leave it there, but that's how we can use the marvellous new program we have, this CAD program, to do all sorts of marvellous things. But the important thing is that number there is the Comforter, which is, where are we? There is it. That's the comforter. All right, we'll leave it there.